Raising the overnight policy rate is not the only solution for addressing the depreciation of the ringgit, according to Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. Diverging from the approaches taken by countries such as Turkey and Argentina that raised their benchmark interest rates to stabilize their devalued currencies, Anwar pointed out that Malaysia's economic indicators such as inflation and unemployment rates are still relatively low, while the economy and investments are steadily growing. In Parliament, various MPs had questions about the state of the ringgit, which has now slipped to some 4.76 to the USD to a near 25-year low. Anwar, who is also the finance minister, reiterated the government's medium and long-term plan to strengthen the ringgit, including increasing trade in the local currency, a strategy known as de-dollarization. Anwar said the transition to local currencies in trade has shown promising progress, with 25% of total trade with China conducted in ringgit and renminbi. Meanwhile, panelists at the RAM Forum 2023 said that raising the OPR is not an effective tool in strengthening the ringgit. Maybank IB Head of Fixed Income Research Winston Foon explained raising the OPR might not yield the desired outcome, especially when the US continues to tighten its monetary policy. Bank Muamalat Malaysia Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afzal Nizam Abdul Rashid is also against the idea of increasing the OPR as it could potentially lead to adverse economic consequences. Instead, he suggested looking into strengthening policies as an approach to shore up the weakening ringgit. The last time Bank Negara raised the OPR was in May, instituting a 25 basis point hike to 3% from 2.75%. The central bank will hold its last Monetary Policy Committee meeting for this year on November 1st and 2nd. Bursa Malaysia's net profit for the third quarter rose 20.5% year-on-year to 60.4 million on the back of improved trading revenue from the securities market. Revenue improved 13% year-on-year to 158.7 million from 140.4 million previously, mainly due to a 26% rise in securities market trading revenue to 70.4 million ringgit. The rise in this segment's trading revenue was due to the securities market's higher average daily trade value on market trades and direct business trades, which increased by 28% to 2.24 billion from 1.75 billion previously. Going into the final quarter of 2023, Bursa said it is optimistic about meeting its announced headline KPIs for the financial year, including PBT of between 295 million and 326 million, as well as year-on-year non-trading revenue growth of 5 to 7%. The market operator also pointed out that while the initial public offering market capitalization KPI has already been achieved, the exchange is expected to register 31 IPOs for the full year against the target of 39 IPOs, mainly attributable by lower lead market listings, as companies are assessing the lead market transfer framework before making decisions on their listings. Breaking down the IPOs, there are 7 for main market, 23 for ace market, and 1 for lead market. Troubled MYAirline says it is currently in advanced negotiations with 2 potential investors out of more than 15 proposals received as they aim to finalize a recapitalization package that will help to resurrect their operations, which have been suspended for over 2 weeks since October 12th. In an update statement, the airline said that its team is working around the clock to finalize a recapitalization package, which would also facilitate the reimbursement of monies to affected passengers, as well as payment of salary and statutory dues. With reference to the show cause notices issued by the Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia and the Malaysian Aviation Commission, MYAirline said that it has formally responded to these 2 agencies last week within the deadlines. On the matter of refunds, the airline said it has received over 30,000 calls and emails, which are being attended to by its customer care team. MYAirline reiterated that it has not terminated or placed any staff on unpaid leave since October 12th. It said that besides setting up an internal tabung ihsan to collect donations from within MYAirline for employees most adversely affected, MYAirline has also made arrangements with Perkeso for its employees to apply for the employee insurance scheme to ease their financial burden during this period. MYAirline is currently racing to find a white knight ahead of a November 14th deadline, which is the expiry of its air service license, to shore up its capital and avoid a shutdown. CIMB Group Holdings and Japanese finance company J-Trust are among firms vying to buy Indonesia's PT Bank Commonwealth in a deal that could value the lender at $400 million to $500 million, said two sources with knowledge of the matter, according to Reuters. Bank Commonwealth, which is 99% owned by Australia's biggest lender, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, focuses on retail lending as well as corporate banking services for small and medium enterprises. Morgan Stanley, the financial advisor on the sale, has asked bidders to submit binding offers by early November, the sources added, declining to be identified as the planned sale had not been publicly disclosed. CIMB and J-Trust have expressed interest and are looking at submitting binding bids, the sources said. It is worth noting that both companies have banking units in Indonesia. The lender, which also provides wealth management services, had total assets of IDR 18.39 trillion last year, according to its annual report. It logged a loss of more than IDR 350.8 billion in 2022, more than double a year earlier, the report said, citing challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. MISC has bagged a contract to supply, operate and maintain a liquefied natural gas floating storage unit in Pengerang, Johor, with an estimated contract value of up to $213.7 million or 1.02 billion ringgit. The group said it has entered into a binding heads of agreement with Pengerang LNG2, a 65% owned unit of Petronas Gas, to supply, operate and maintain the FSU. According to MISC, it will convert one of its Puteri 1 class LNG carriers, namely Puteri Delima 1, which completed her long-term charter in early 2023 and is currently in layup, into the FSU for the above-mentioned provision. The agreement is valid for a period of 20 years from the expected operation date of 2025 and may be extended for a period to be agreed between the parties. MISC currently operates 2 FSUs as well as 6 floating production, storage and offloading vessels and 5 other floating storage and offloading vessels.